Welcome back. Alright, hello and welcome to Fight for Blight, Session 18. As we normally do, we'll go around the table and check in with each of our players, see how their week was. Vieric, how was your week?
Welcome back to Fight for Blight, your journey with your favorite heroes. But it was okay. I mean, I can't complain, I guess.
Well, I mean, as long as it wasn't bad then, right?
It was close to it.
Oh, come on. You got to watch some good fights this weekend. Couldn't have been that bad.
Oh yeah, that was a fun time.
And speaking of fights, it's kind of a good segue. Cryptilli, how was your week?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. It's gonna progressively get worse and then get better.
Got 6 more days? Saturday?
Yeah. Yep. What? 6 more days to fight day? Ooh, baby.
May, is it getting any easier for you, or is it still brutal?
No, it's like so much easier and like much more chill. But at this point, I've seen fights for like 3 years, right? It's been like 3 years since we started doing this,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like it's been about that long.
and like that was my first time ever seeing a person punch another person. So
What?
yeah, like IRL. One time, well, no, never mind. I'm not gonna tell that story, but um, I was literally on a bus ride in Brazil and saw someone get hit in the head with a brick. It was wild. Not on the bus, but
Dang.
that was it before that. And I didn't even watch football. I think football is really hard to watch.
Well, with it getting a little bit better for Cryptilli's fights, was your week good?
Yeah, I'm really excited for this weekend. We got some like family friends in town, so it'll be really nice to see them.
Nice. Just Stalin, how was your week?
Pretty chill. I feel like I've been in get my well-being together mode going on, if that makes any sense. I went to get my first COVID shot. Finally, I know I'm a little bit late. And then this weekend I'll be getting my dental appointment going on as well. So
Then you get to learn how many cavities you have.
yeah, because it's been a while since I've been. So yeah, I'm working on it.
Hey, just tell everyone what anyone our age or age group is kind of getting that shot for now. And just letting everyone else get theirs first, being considerate.
Right, right. In terms of cavities, though, I've never had one, so hopefully that doesn't start now.
What's going on, Pete? But that's good, man. I mean, it'll take a little bit to for everything to set in, of course, whatnot. But you know, make you feel a little bit better, I guess.
Definitely.
Adashi, how was your week, bud?
That's pretty good. So, I was the only Tex in here. We went from monsoon season, it felt like, to now it's like back we're in the 90s again, baby. So the summer's here. I don't know, you East Coast folks, if it's the same, but it's pretty
It
miserable.
seems like we traded off then.
Yeah, maybe you're getting the heat wave next. But I went on a walk when I got home with my 3 kids and my wife, and we were all dying halfway through. I was like, oh, it's so hot. So yeah, good times though. Good week.
I mean, personally, I'm kind of glad that it's been raining over here. I enjoy it. At least for us, because it only rains for like a few hours and then it stops. But
Yeah, I mean
Crix?
it's really good for the like lawn and stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, not people.
I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
The townhome, my lawn is I finish it with a weed whacker in 5 minutes.
Yeah, beautiful.
Crix, how about you, bud?
It's been truck week, so it's been utter chaos. Pretty much Saturday, we had to work about 3.5 hours with no electricity in a kitchen, so that wasn't much fun.
So how did you cook?
Oh, all the cooking stuff uses gas. It was
Oh, okay.
just dark, and we had no tickets that weren't handwritten, and we had no lights, and yeah, it wasn't fun.
That sounds awful. I mean,
Terrible.
with what you described, and then just the fact of like no fan, AC, so it's just like hot too.
Yeah, it was probably 120 degrees in the kitchen with no ventilation by the end of it.
That's when you're starting to ask people like, "Hey, did you need something from the walk-in? All right, I'll be right back. I got it."
Yeah, oof. Made a lot of money though, so that's good.
That's good.
But truck week is always a nightmare.
Yeah.
Least favorite week of the year when it comes to vehicle related weeks.
I think I agree with that. It's just because there's so much traffic near like where I have to like work for a lot of my stores too. It's terrible. But well, getting a little bit off the beaten path before we get on a rant on Truck Week. Who would like to take the lead on the recap? If no one volunteers, I will pick one. Perfect. Cryptilli, go ahead and give the recap.
No, see what happened was things happened, and whatnot.
You guys got all these group notes, and I feel like May is the only one that reads them.
It's me and just Ellen, primarily, who
We
write
tried
them.
to. I know we tried to gather a lot of meat, especially Erie. He went to go to the cheapest butcher in town to try to get the meat for the Knolls. May and I tried to go hunting, and that did not go so well like we planned. But we did manage to get rations for everyone for the trip. And we have some new puppies to carry all the luggage. And they're eating everything.
That is true.
We also found out that May and Vierick are not too good at dog sledding. Did y'all both fall off? I forgot.
I mean, yeah, but it was literally our first time ever on like a new invention, a new mode of transportation. So whatever, bro. We
And
did, we did
Crix,
both.
Crix and I managed to, kind of halt the dog sleds to try to, even things out.
Yeah, I would paint it more like, we're figuring it out.
We all are.
Exactly.
That's fair. I feel like it's definitely a bit of a learning curve. Um, However, other than just like bits of RP and a couple of events, there wasn't too much that happened. It was mainly just securing some food and then finalizing the plan and then setting out.
One thing that did happen is like by the time we were settling down for the night, like something seemed to like swoop in for Lil May. And it didn't get her. And then also we heard some like growling off in the distance, which we weren't able to figure out what it was.
And I believe there was a flying creature, if that's the same one that tried to attack Little May. But we didn't get to really eyeball it.
I thought you noticed that it was a dragon.
Seems very specific, but I'm not too sure based on my memory.
I think that's when my Benadryl kicked in. I don't remember much of that.
I rolled like a 1, so I didn't see nothing.
This is true.
Our notes just say a large flying creature.
Mm-hmm.
Both Justin and just Stalin were drunk, so they do not recall.
I love how
It
you
was 11 o'clock.
specify.
So what you're saying is that Justin was in character.
Yes, and I was typing the doc at the same time, so I was all over the place.
I just imagine, like, the more you drink, like, the notes reflecting that, and then May reading them over and just being like, what the hell? Like, this makes no
Exactly.
sense.
No, it's been pretty good for the most part.
That's good.
And sometimes we're both weirdly vague, and then the next week I'm like, I don't remember this at all.
Sorry,
Just because,
You
like,
should see when I type stuff in there. They're like, what? What? Nope, rewriting that.
Well, I think that was a pretty good recap. At the moment, I do believe I owed you guys a little bit of experience from the last session as well. So, if I'm not mistaken, everyone was at 2,821.
Correct.
Can anyone else confirm?
yes.
Same thing.
So each of you can go ahead and add 1,775, which will bring everyone to a grand total of 4,596 experience. Out of the total 6,500 needed for level 5.
Moving on up.
And of course, at this point, if needed to note, the dogs for the dog sled are not getting any of your experience. But did think about it. Then again, was thinking a scaling character sheet for an NPC would be a little difficult to pass along. But nonetheless, we'll get into our game with this. We're continuing on the early morning hours of April 25th, with the night growing closer to its end. The second watch of Adachi and Crix is just about over. A strange night has taken place thus far. A growl, flaps, and a silhouette of a large flying creature that disappeared into the purple-hued horizon that extends past the Stokeland mountain range. The wind still whipping. The cold feels as if it is just bearing down into your bones at this point. Even with having a little bit of warmth, just the cold is piercing. Adachi, Crix, the large silhouette of that large flying creature, whatever it was, that assumed to have tried to attack little May, has now vanished, just disappearing as it grew farther and farther in the distance, flying to the west. And with that, the floor is yours.
Did Adachi point that out to me at any time? Because I know I didn't even notice it.
Sorry, yeah, I was on mute. I think Adachi was looking through Little May's eyes. Can I roll some kind of check to see if I know what that was before I explain to Crix what I saw?
You rolled your checks last session, and that is what you'd seen.
Oh, okay, that's 13%. Got it. Okay. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I think Adachi mentally tells Little May to like get back ASAP, and then he turns to Crix and goes, Did you see that? Did you hear that? There was some kind of large flying creature. It almost got little May. How big was it? Did I get a sense of how big it was?
Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check.
When you start role playing and realize you don't know what you're
Doing
supposed to say.
quick mathematics with distance, size, also taking into the calculation the obscurity from the wind and snow. It was quite a huge creature.
I mean, I didn't.
It seemed large
I
from
was
your
looking to-
distance, but if up closer, could nearly double in size.
It seemed massive. Double our size. It was hard to tell from Little May's point of view, but and it was dark, of course, but yeah, I haven't seen anything like that before. It headed west. Should we tell the others?
Adachi, are you sure? I haven't noticed anything since we've been out here.
I mean, I saw it with my, well, it wasn't my eyes, it was Little May's eyes, but I mean, you know how that works, right? And then he starts explaining to you how the spell works mechanically.
And you're sure about this? It couldn't have just been a
Oh, yeah.
shadow in the wind and snow, making it look like there might have been something there?
Is Little May back yet?
Oh yeah.
Does
She
look
is so
frazzled at all?
light and small when she lands, it's almost unnoticeable unless you're really paying attention for it.
Does she look frazzled at all? I mean, I don't know how much personality that thing has, but
Well, as you take a look, Little May, of course, the pupils quite dilated, but you can see the feathers all ruffled. It's definitely poofed out, seeming to try to make itself look bigger, but with, the miniature size, it's just basically adorable.
yeah, she I mean, look at her. She's clearly, I mean, she saw something out there.
Well, we can inform the others just to be safe.
I mean, Adachi stops Crix and says, I mean, if you think we should let Vieric sleep, though, I mean, he's kind of cranky. I don't want to upset him any more than I already have the past few weeks.
His watch. Wait. Was his watch first or second? Or third?
Ferrix was first.
No, we'll tell them in the morning. We'll just inform
Okay,
the next watch of what we might have seen.
Yeah.
Because we don't know
Great
for
idea.
sure that we saw anything.
Cool. Adachi nods.
How much longer do we have in our watch?
It'd be just about an hour. But the rest of your watch, while keeping your eyes peeled, look out, making sure nothing comes around, ears perked, making sure no sounds come around the camp either. The hour goes by quietly, but slowly. The night, other than the wind, is still. But your watch is over. Now takes us to May and Justalin.
Yeah, I think Adachi would just explain what he saw, or Little May, what he saw through Little May's eyes.
Okay, so with the info... Oh, go ahead, May.
I was gonna say, that makes me nervous, brother, combined with the growl we couldn't locate earlier.
Yes, and I mean, it did seem like it was headed west, which is kind of where we're going.
Okay, I'm gonna exercise a sort of meditation I've learned. And I'm gonna do primeval awareness. So it says I expend 1 ranger spell slot, 1 minute per level of spell slot to sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead are present within 1 mile of you. Or within up to 6 miles if you're in your favorite terrain, which I assume we're in Arctic.
Yeah, it's hit the summer months, but still cold.
And this feature doesn't reveal the creature's location or number, but I would like to cast that.
And you do not get a reading.
Well, I can't sense any non sort of regular creatures close to us, but we'll be sure to keep our eyes peeled.
Okay.
That's all we can do.
I'm gonna go take a nap. Adasha
Have a
is-
safe watch.
We'll try.
Alright, so during your watch, Justalin and May, what are each of you taking part in? Some of the others had little activities. Of course, some being a little detrimental. However, if there's anything you wish to take part in during your watch, feel free.
Based on the circumstances, I'm just keeping an eye out. I don't want to distract myself right now.
Yeah, I think same. May would be standing probably with her bow and arrow ready and just not like walking around constantly, but making sure she's switching sort of sides.
Got it. So actually doing like a little bit of patrolling.
Yeah, like a real slow motion patrol.
Okay.
Definitely has her bow.
Well, as the wind still whips and the snow is falling quite a bit heavily at this time, can each of you give me a perception check? Each of you are fairly... Yeah, the first one's performance, just Alan.
Well, damn.
It's close to perception, but hey, a little bit better. That modifier, though. As both of you are listening, keeping your eyes peeled, both of you are quite certain that nothing is around and your watch goes through peacefully. While it does feel that the sun takes forever to rise, it does, in just a few hours' time, beginning to rise from the east, and as it does, the weather calming as the sky gets slightly brighter moment by moment. There we go. So, as each of, as your watch comes to an end there, May and Justalin, you begin to wake everyone up. It is now the morning of April 25th. So at this point, just for the record, if there's any hit dice that need to be rolled, if you know, you fell off the dog sled or anything of that manner, you might want to roll that HP die, just in case.
Yes, roll mine.
I'm trying to remember how to do it.
So if you're on your D&D Beyond sheet, go ahead and just hit short rest, and then it'll show up with hit die. The only reason I remember is because Crix taught me how. Hey, 2. That's all you needed.
Hell yeah.
Didn't need that. I'm trash.
That's fine. You can waste one, but you get one back. It's good.
Just wanted some extra rest.
Yeah, right. Hit that snooze button. Or I guess for you in particular, going back to sleep after the watch. All right, everyone, time to get up. I'm going back to sleep.
I was testing how it works on my car. I thought if I hit the short rest, it should reset my car, but it didn't. So,
I think it comes back on a long rest, depending on
maybe.
what kind you are, but I could look into it for you.
Yeah, I need to double check as well. I was experimenting with it.
But with it being in the morning, you guys can continue on the dog sleds after getting everything loaded up, unburied from the snow, from the meat. You're making sure it didn't give off any scents, all that good kind of stuff. Which is going to take a little bit of time, but you know, just a little bit of hard work. So I don't know how you're marking them, just Olin, but
Manually, but
let's
I'd rather just do a short rest.
yeah, let's test this out real quick. So I'm gonna clear the boxes, right?
Okay.
And then I'm gonna hit short rest. Well, it says like / short rest, so I mean that's like, per short rest. So I don't know. But what they do is they leave them blank. I don't think they fill it in.
Yeah, I saw no fill.
Yeah, if you take short rest, all those go away. And then it leaves it empty. So it is giving it to you per short rest, just to confirm.
Oh, maybe I was looking in the wrong section. Maybe. Like, were you looking under the features or just under the short rest section?
Under the features.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was looking under the short rest. I thought that would reset as well, because both of them show cow points.
Oh, that's... I think for something else, but I'd have to, again, read into it.
Okay, gotcha.
But just to confirm, everyone going to continue to set on their way. You're not too far away from the tree line, and with the amount of distance covered, I mean, you guys will make it there in an hour to 2 hours at most. I mean, depending on how good May and Vieric drive the sleds today.
We got this.
Did we want to have May and Vieric drive the sleds today?
Of course we do.
I mean, if one of y'all want to drive, I'm fine with that. It's probably wise if we all learn to do it. But I'm happy to keep leading the dogs. Mush! I'm just kidding.
Well, then I guess Kirks would just pile into Vieric's sled again.
As would I.
I'll be amazed.
And I watch Adachi jump into Mate's team.
Yeah, at this point, Adachi doesn't really have a place besides there. Well, at this point, most of you are pretty accustomed to, at least holding on while riding. However, the two, we'll call it amateur drivers, seem to still be having a little bit of an issue. So, with each of you having a good command on your lead dog, can each of you give me a athletics or acrobatics check, whichever one you choose, and hopefully you roll good. May, it's still a little tricky. Sometimes your foot slides off here and there, but you're able to hold on at least a little bit better comparatively to the other day. But, of course, how much more you can improve is yet to be seen. Vieric, you are still having quite a bit of an issue. It just does not seem to maybe be in your cup of tea or your general skills, if you will. As you bounce around, still able to hold on, but both your feet slipping time to time, and then having to just pull yourself back up and into the driving position. However, each of you do start to come up to the tree line as you make your way west. The sun beating down on each of your backs and glistening off the snow, it comes up quite quickly. Just keep going.
I say we push.
Yeah, keep going.
Why not?
Do it.
Alright, so continuing on into the tree line, I need May and Vieric to give me your checks, this time at disadvantage, and each of you give me your dexterity saving throw at disadvantage, please.
You want acrobatics or athletics?
Yep.
Again?
From you and Vieric, whichever you choose, but this is at disadvantage.
Oh my goodness.
At least you're consistent.
Can I use Reptili's thing? The guidance thing?
Did she cast it on you, bro?
Well, I'll leave that up to Creptilli, but I still do need a dex save from the rest of you at disadvantage.
Mala?
Yeah, I did cast guidance on Vieric for his acrobatics roll.
I didn't yell. My bad. I yelled. Reload.
I just have no luck today.
Okay. So we have a fail, 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 success, fail. So, when each of you keep pressing on full speed towards the trees, the dogs naturally begin to bob and weave. Unfortunately, this is not the best situation for this. And when you begin to wrap around a corner, the sled begins to kick out from like underneath and just power slide. The dogs trying to pull you almost directly north at this point, and the half of the dog sled team cracks right into a tree, and the only person to still hold on and not fall off is Adachi. Adachi, you remain secured on the sled as the rest of your siblings, your brothers and sisters, fly off, landing into the snow. It comes crashing back down, and you just hear the dogs crying. Will everyone take, everyone besides Adachi, take 5 points of bludgeoning damage? and each of you coming to a halt, barely making any headway into the tree line.
Well, that certainly was a lesson learned. And May sets off to like check on the dogs, make sure they're all right, untangle them, etc.
Can you give me an animal handling check at advantage? They definitely seem a bit shaken up. They're quite a bit tangled in the ropes, but I mean, luckily, there's still quite a bit of snow, and from the fall you've taken the previous day and now again today, it does seem that the snow is, well, giving a bit of a resilience to your impact. Luckily for the dogs, they are quite durable.
As I get up and brush myself off, I'll check on the dogs that Vic was leading.
Hadashi's gonna go check on Virik.
Grix will go right the sled since it's probably fallen on its side.
Cryptilli, can you give me an animal handling check? Yours will be at advantage. Crix, can you give me an athletics check? And then go ahead and take a look at Virik. There, Adashi.
No
You
matter.
want me to take a? You want me to do a check or just I can just talk to him?
Oh yeah, just RP. While they were doing their rolls was the idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Dashi just goes, Virik, are you all right? You were doing so well, and then I mean, obviously there must have been a bump in the snow or something. I mean, you're such a master at all things. Are you okay?
I'm fine. It takes more than that to hurt me. Let's go help with the dogs in the cart. It's not a cart.
Yes,
it's
sir.
a
I
sled.
mean, yes, brother. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try to go help Creep Tilly with the dogs.
Cryptilli, you find most of the dogs, just as May's group, to be quite a bit shaken up. Little bits of whining here and there, but no serious injuries that you can note. Crix, as you see out of your peripherals, Virik and Adashi making their way back towards each of you, you turn one of the sleds back upright.
Cool. As I'm like tending to the dogs and like petting the dogs, I'm going to look at the leader of that one, and I'm just going to be like, next time you see a group of trees and you're moving that fast, maybe you'll slow down.
Oh, if it could respond.
Exactly.
Well, only one sled remains on the side, but however, there are more than enough of you to be able to get it back upright with no issue. However, looking on, you see the woods to still get thicker and thicker. What is your decision?
Yeah, so at this point, I just want to like aid in picking everything up, making sure that we didn't leave anything behind off of the sleds. And then I'll ask, does it look like there might be a clearing around the trees? Or should we trudge through the trees a little more slowly?
We'll probably be fine if we just don't go quite so fast.
Yeah, I think we could keep our cargo on the sleds and lead the dogs through the trees, maybe on foot.
agreed. It seems too dangerous for even the best dog sledders, navigators. I'm not sure what you call yourselves. And he kind of looks at Vieric. No one could have made that at that speed.
I guess we're the first ones, so we could probably name it, right?
Yeah. What sounds like an exciting name? Blight
Wait.
sledders.
This is the question for the journey. Let's make sure we should get started if we're gonna walk.
Adachi already had out his paper and quill and was writing down a few names. Okay. I'll think about it. We can talk later.
Foolish.
So, are you gonna lead the dogs on foot or just go through slower?
I'd say on foot.
Based on the level of control we've seemed to have, yeah, I agree on foot.
Okay,
Yeah.
like maybe the
Yeah.
people who first drove cars had a hard time too, you guys.
Well,
But
it
you
seems
get
to
for
be
being
a
innovative.
fairly good idea. After getting everything back up onto the sleds, making sure that nothing is left behind, you'll notice that there's a little bit of damaged crates, but nothing that is too severe. Leading the dog sled team on foot, you all continue west, finding this pace to be quite a bit slower, weaving in between the trees. Can each of you give me a perception check as you make your way about an hour in?
My eyes are working again.
Or not.
And perhaps this makes up for missing the previous night's events. Crix, as you all are making your way through a little small of a clearing, you spot 4 collapsed, what appear to be makeshift tents made of frozen branches, leaves, and notably what looks to be a pit of discolored snow, little bits of brown and black.
Would I be able to assume this is probably the Knoll camp that we were at previously?
That is your call, my friend.
Because that's what I would assume.
I think that's a safe assumption.
Siblings, I think we found the camp. We should probably look around for clues. Maybe we can find some indication of the direction they went. Also, how messy of them to just leave the camp like this.
Yeah, I think I like to use favored enemies, so I think I get advantage on survival checks. Oh, I guess they're not beasts. Are they beasts?
Well, I guess that's a perception thing. Do you perceive them as beasts? Or are you more evolved and think of them as, humanoid beings?
I mean, you guys are going there for diplomatic.
Look, I think, first of all, May has squarely, from day one, seen them as humanoid beings, but
No, they're
yeah.
not beast.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, well, I guess I'll just use regular tracking.
Okay, well, while you guys are all looking around, whoever is wishing to partake, go ahead and roll me a survival check.
Dang, I just
20's
don't have
everywhere.
it.
Cryptilli, Vieric, Adachi, each of you, after taking a look around, will note that this is actually, will confirm that this is indeed the Knoll camp that you had, well, I guess you could say made partial friends with. I mean, with each of your intentions at the moment. I feel like that's slightly safe to say. But
Dashi feels like they were best friends, but just for the record.
Not really finding anything other of note. The little makeshift tents that were there being collapsed, buried underneath snow. Only little bits of the branches and leaves protrude from the freshly fallen snow. The little pit you can find to be, well, that exactly what it seems, a small fire pit just covered in bits of snow mixed with the soot and the coal and burning woods. The rest of you, however, just all in Crix and May. As you're taking a look around, each of you find some footprints. They seem to be, well, petrified, frozen solid into the snowy ground.
Do these footprints look like boot footprints, or do they look more like knoll footprints?
More of paws.
What directions do they seem to lead in?
They are following west down a small, like, rut, little makeshift trail. Seems that they only go about one area. You know, like when you trample through an area over and over again, it kind of ends up making a small trail. Kind of like that.
This might be the best indication of their direction that we're gonna find.
True. Should we send a scout to see if there's trouble up ahead?
I'd rather just stick together, personally.
We could
Alright.
send little May.
Little May like jumps and like shoots feathers everywhere because she's still real jittery from the flyby attack last night.
Shaking her head no.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Okay.
all right,
Poofs
little May.
herself
It's all right.
out of existence.
Yeah. She becomes
Snaps
a
your
tattoo
fingers
on
for you.
Adashi's body.
It's just a panic attack and
Just
it's like
kidding.
dissolves.
I don't think Little May is really up to it right now.
No problem. Well, we should discuss our sort of marching order. I think it's clear the dogs and the sleds need to be in the back.
I
Or maybe
think
it's not clear.
No, I agree, sister. I think that's wise. Perhaps someone that is more familiar with them than me or the rest of should stay back there with them.
I was thinking the same. Someone behind them, someone in front of them, with the best handling.
I think the best fighters should stay up front, and me and May stay in the back because we need to do our bow thing anyways. So
I guess that's you and I, Crix. I guess we can lead in the front.
Always happy to be the tip of the spear.
Adachi had started walking to the front and then kind of like leaves Kurtuli and takes a step back.
Well, that's probably fine. Beric and I can certainly ride on the sleds, even if we're going at a walking pace, just in case something spooks the dogs.
Just want to see if I noticed Adachi kind of sink back that way.
Oh, yeah.
Can I roll can I roll a deception to try to make it look natural, like I was just walking in place?
Oh, yeah, sure, if you'd like.
I don't think it's good. This felt like. Oh, you beat me by one.
You
Before
definitely
we
notice
go-
this.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, I was going to just say, you notice this, Cryptily.
As he's slowing down his pace a little, I'll tell him, you might want to stay a few paces behind us, just in case Crix needs your help.
Oh, of course, sister. Yes. Thank you. He's still a little dejected. But Dash will go up to Justel and be like, I guess that means you and I have the middle.
Sounds about right.
Before we go, I'd love to just like investigate the camp a little bit more. Like maybe take my short sword and like lift up one of the tents and just see what's up.
Sure. You can roll me an investigation. You just find that the camp to be unkept, just collapsing underneath like the natural weight of the snow. But with the footprints found and pointed out, it does seem to be something at least utilized from time to time. Just hasn't been for the past few days.
Got it. Okay, then I'll load up in my sled.
I like to check the coals to see if there's any warmth to try and gauge maybe how long ago they would have left.
Oh, there's none at all.
Oh, okay, no coals at all. Okay.
No, just more like mixed in with the snow, giving it that discoloration.
Never mind. Gotcha.
All right. So, without spending too much time in this clearing, each of you continue on following the footprints. It's quite easy following the path made by these creatures as you continue on, finding it to almost be that at like a pace that you travel along the road. At this point, as each of you make your way out of the tree line, a few miles away, you see the base of the mountain. You look to the north and the south and see nothing but empty snowland, just frozen as you normally do. However, the sun is making its way down behind the peak just of the southern tips of the Stokeland Mountains. You have a few hours left in the day, but not much. And with the sun disappearing behind the mountain, being cast in the shadows, well, it might be a little bit harder to tell.
Seems like it's close to time to set up camp.
Agreed. Should we get off the path a little bit?
I think that would be wise. I would rather find our little furry friends than have them find us.
Okay. So, with the bits of extra time that you have, can one of you roll me a survival check in order to find a nice hidden place to set up camp?
I have +3.
I have a +5, but my rolling is sucky today.
Nah, do it. You got it. +5, bro. Come on. You got
Yeah, we're guaranteed a 6.
Ho!
Well,
Hey,
or a
Lord.
24. Just Stalin. With this being a little bit more detrimental, you sober up just for a brief moment, able to find a pretty good location in order to hide your camp for the night. Enough room for the dogs, the sled, Kitty, Nix, and your family. But then with that, if there's anything else you wish to take care of for the night, feel free. And then if anything specific, let me know. Other than that, just setting up camp as normal.
I'd like to take the opportunity to go not super far and hunt with Nyx in the forest.
While she's doing that, I'm gonna take some time after camp is set up and just start scattering any small, like, twigs and things around the camp as much as I can, just for early alert if anything starts sneaking up on us.
I'm just gonna help set up camp.
May, I'm sorry. I was writing down some notes. What exactly did you say you were doing?
I was gonna start collecting,
May,
like, small...
I heard what you said, buddy.
Okay.
Sorry.
I just want to go hunt, like, not super far away.
Got it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No worries.
I basically, like, blacked out while I was writing down my notes real quick. I don't know what happened.
It's okay.
And then you're basically laying down, like, makeshift trap there, Crix, from what it sounded like.
Pretty much, yeah. Just things
Got it.
that if people step on, they'll make snapping noises.
Stepping on a Lego. Might not do much damage, but it'll definitely hurt. Creptil, you said just helping set up camp. Anybody else?
I'll be helping set up dinner or get dinner together, and I'll try not to use Crix's fodder to feed my fire. Fodder was the wrong term for that, but yeah.
Adachi will do his typical alarm spell once we have the camp position, and then maybe spend 2 hours looking at his notes on how to self-tattoo himself.
Okay, give me an Arcana check, Adachi. May, give me a survival check. And Crix, give me a survival check. Got it. Adachi, put on a push talk for now. I don't know what you're doing. Getting a lot of feedback.
Oh,
Sounds
really?
like he's remodeling a bathroom.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm drawing some baby clothes.
Thank you, bub. So, May, as you head out, you don't go very far. However, you do spot what looks like a deer head. The head laying on the snow, protruding from some of the bushes. See bits of red around the base of the head.
Yikes. I draw my short swords, but I get closer and I investigate.
So as you move closer, you move towards the head, and as you do, you'll notice that there is a large indentation on the ground, and the rest of the body from this creature gone. Can you give me a nature check, please? At advantage. From the size of this indentation and what was described to you, you're not exactly sure what it is, but you're fairly certain whatever the creature you saw or your sibling saw last night and relayed to you must have done this.
She sort of gives the deer head to Nyx.
Begins gnawing on it.
And then she whispers, "Let's head back to camp."
Carries it back in her mouth, mouth totally around the snout of the deer's head, and tail directly up. You feel her just walking with confidence, as if she had done this.
Yeah, I imagine her doing like a very like bouncy walk.
Then making way down the line, Crix, you feel that your little makeshift trap is set up quite well. Couldn't think of the right word for a moment. I was just kind of drawing
Sufficient?
a blank. Yeah, sufficient. Thank you. That seems nice. And Adashi, you can put in your 2 hours worth of work, and from going over everything, you feel that if once you put in another 2 hours consecutively for the next few days, then this will suffice. However, you feel that if not practicing, this information will slip quickly.
After I help set up camp, I want to make sure that the dogs get fed.
Okay, this will leave you 3 more days of rations for all the dogs. But if nothing else, we can go ahead and begin the watch orders. If everything's still the same, we have Vieric and Creptilli up first, right? Or am I messing that up again?
Oh, that's right.
Yep, that's right.
Before we head off to bed, sort of may make sure everyone knows, like, it's clear that that creature you saw last night killed this deer, and this is clearly its hunting ground. So we should perhaps sleep without a fire tonight and make sure that we're keeping our sharpest watch.
This is definitely foreboding.
Not only that, but we're solidly in Knoll country now, and they probably don't know we're coming. Just best to be as careful as possible.
This is the only time I wish Crix had a southern accent.
Well, I could if y'all wanted.
We're in Knoll country now.
There it is.
Nice. Adashi, tonight might be a good night to set up that perimeter. Would you be able to do it? Okay, wonderful.
Keep thinking that was automatic for our camp setup.
It is, but he did point it out again just in case.
Oh, word.
Plus, Crix's sticks.
I was like, why do we have these
also.
sticks?
But no, bro, those sticks are just wow. It's like the country, it's the really country version of the alarms.
Well, if nothing
Except for he would
else,
have used fishing line too.
if nothing else, then as we get into the first watch, I am going to need a perception check from Vieric and Creptilli.
Oh my
Wow.
lord.
How the tables have turned from the previous night. While each of you are, tending camp, I do believe May said to keep the fire out just in case. And as each of you are, staying warm, at least a little bit. With your winter clothing wrapped in your cloaks. As it gets a little bit late into the night, a couple of hours pass, and you begin to hear barks and growls. They are echoing across the land. Creptilli, you're quite certain that they're coming from the mountain. but how high up, you're unsure.
Ah, perfect. It seems we have friends. And I try to, like, in a low tone, mimic how they said friend in their barky language.
Can you give me a performance check? Just to see how good this goes. Goes pretty well. As you call out, you hear the barks and growls that were echoing cease and become silent.
They must have some good ears.
Maybe we need to check it out.
Nah, we should be fine here. They're way up in the mountains.
Yeah, but they're mobile, so they'll get to us anyways. So I say we get the jump on it and start moving.
But it's nighttime. We shouldn't travel in this.
That's true, but we're also risking getting eaten.
Or a really tough fight.
We've never been one to back down from those, so what's the problem?
I just don't want to freeze.
Well, Cryptilli, after you call out, your voice echoing through the area, and then the silence, it is just very quiet for the rest of your watch. Nothing else is seen nor heard. And after a little bit more of time, you know it's time to wake up your brothers.
Yeah. As we wake up, who is it? May and Adashi? Or Adashi and Crix? Yeah.
Dashi and Crix.
And say, Adashi, I think we're going into the right direction. I may have either offended or greeted our friend, so yeah, have fun with that. Keep your eyes open. And I'm gonna go to sleep.
Sorry, my mic is horrible. I don't know if you guys can even hear me.
Yeah, you're fine.
Can hear.
Okay. I'm going to restart during our break. Yeah, I think Adachi would just say, did you try Howling Friend at them?
I did.
Oh, I was going to try that myself. Should I give it a try too?
No, Adachi, you shouldn't.
Are you sure? Maybe they're having trouble finding us.
The middle of the night is not a good time to be found.
Right, but Fang and Little Tooth could be the ones looking for us.
Exactly. I'm sure they recognize us.
I think I gave them part of my clothes, so they're probably smelling their way to us right now.
I don't think this is going to go how you think it's going to go, Adachi, but do as you please. This is your idea.
I have 100% faith in you, brother. That's why I'm going to sleep. Good night.
I think this is hard because I think Adachi. I'm trying to think whose opinion Adachi would listen to more, and I feel like since Cryptilli is such good friends with Virik, he probably is going to. And he's excited. He's going to howl and try to do the same thing. So he'll try to howl the word for friend. But he'll spend 10 minutes first to ritual cast comprehend languages. So he'll be able to hear them howling back. Because he's assuming it's like a late night text.
Crix?
I'm gonna summon my shadow and just stand at guard on both sides of the entrance to the main tent for the entire time.
Okay. Adashi? When your comprehend language is complete, what are you shouting out?
I'm gonna try to do the null word for friend. I think I remember what Cryptilli did.
Okay. Can you give me a performance check at advantage? Okay. When you call out, you're fairly certain that you have done this correctly, but you don't hear anything return the call. Your voice just echoes until it fades, and then the sounds of the wind picking up and the snow just causing too much weight along the branches. Bundles of snow fall to the ground.
Dashi just starts muttering to himself. I think I did that. I think I rolled the R right. I hope. He's like doing it more quietly. He's like, maybe he's just talking to himself the whole time about if he did it right, growling, muttering. And I think little May's there, but he's keeping her kind of close because of the flying creature.
All right. Well, with that, everything remains silent. Crix, you don't see anything during the watch. Just the sounds of your footsteps kind of pacing back and forth, but everything is quiet.
Well, good.
Well, after a few moments pass, the night seems to go a little bit progressively quicker, with there not being much action or really any sounds being heard. It is now time for the third watch with May and Justalin.
May, they've been howling at the moon all night, so we may or may not end up having friends.
Dashi looks to May and goes, sorry, can you just listen to this for 1 second? Oh, that was friend, right? Or was it more
He
like
just like
this?
punches him in the solar, like just while he's doing it.
What'd you say, May? You're gonna punch him?
Yeah, like not too hard, but she's just gonna like jab him right in the solar plex so he stops howling, like mid howl. Shut up! Wasn't the last thing we talked about before we went to bed was that we're not even gonna have a fire tonight because there's a large flying creature that's literally hunting here? Do you remember that part?
Oh, sorry, I just got really excited that the gnolls might be nearby. Cryptilli told me to.
Is the answer?
I don't think so. I must have done it wrong.
All right, we'll get some rest, brother. We'll figure it out in the morning.
If you see any signs of trouble, just wake me up, okay?
Of course.
We definitely will. I swear, if I didn't have to sleep, I'd watch the entire night my damn self. Take a rest.
I feel the same. It's unsettling here.
Howling, literally howling. Why?
I don't know. You have any more wine on you? Take a swig.
Me too.
All right. Well, with it getting a couple of hours into your watch, you feel that dawn is close. Maybe 30 minutes to an hour away. You look up, you see the stars sparkling above, the clouds blocking them out here and there. Moon is half a moon, so it's giving off a little bit of light, but not too much, especially when being blocked by the clouds. But just as the sun begins to rise, can just Stalin and May give me a perception check? You each begin to hear barking and growling echoing out through the area. It seems that it's coming from the mountain, but you're unsure of how high up.
Well, those aren't our dogs.
No, I mean, it's probably Knowles. I think we should, I don't know, I think we should probably wake our siblings.
About that time.
They've probably gotten enough rest.
Enough meditation. They don't sleep anyway, or you guys don't, so
Right.
should be sufficient.
If you wake them up, I'll stay out here and stand guard.
Okay.
So as the commotion begins to take place in the camp, everyone becomes a bit awakened, startled, if you will, as the dogs begin to call out, responding to the barks and the echoes that they hear coming from the mountain.
May tries to get them to stop. I don't know. She tries to get them to sit.
Give me an animal handling check. With all the dogs going a bit crazy, it's going to be a little difficult, but you've definitely gotten a good handle on them, but you do seem to notice that they are a bit rambunctious. They all continue to keep crying out. Soon, the area is just filled with their barks, whines, and yipes.
That's a nice wake up sound. I'll wake up and look at the big dog, and I'll just be like, "Shut up."
Go ahead and give me an animal handling check. It looks at you. It stops barking, but you're unsure whether it is responding to a command or if you just kind of slightly caught its attention. However, when the lead dog stops, soon more begin to follow its
Suit.
Yes, thank you. And once all the carrying on ceases, it is quiet yet again.
Nice. And as I get myself up, I'll break off a piece of my ration and give it to him.
It eats it up happily. Yeah, it's because Roll20 knew you were about to shit talk it, so it knocked it down. It was like, oh yeah?
Yeah. Well, when Craig was like, "Oh, 14 is your lucky number," I was like, I literally have been trying really hard not to think the thought, but I'm like, 14 is my lowest number.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was gonna say, May checks on that deer head she gave Nyx to see if it's like fully cleaned of meat and stuff yet?
Not fully clean. There's quite a bit of flesh still upon it, but you can see where there's been chunks of meat ripped out.
Then I'll probably like pack it in snow and like tie a cloth around it and put it on one of the sleds.
Okay.
I pry it away from Nyx. I assume.
Well, as you keep, I'm guessing, heading west, you do have a bit of open area to ride the sleds if you wish, but with your previous experiences, maybe not.
Do we still hear any of the knoll chatter? I know that our dogs calmed down a little bit,
Nope.
but did
After the dogs calmed down, it was just silence on both sides.
Good deal. Are we still heading towards the mountains, guys? Or was the sound coming from the same direction as the mountains?
Yeah, it
That's what it
seems to be
seems.
coming from the mountain, but hard to tell how far or even how far up.
Great. Yeah, let's keep heading towards the mountain then.
Yep, see if we can pick up the trail or any kind of sign of quote-unquote civilization.
I I call little May over and try to like stroke her little head and just be like, now I'm not saying you have to go very far, but since you can go high, it would be a little helpful if you could just peek and see if you see anything.
Little May will also kind of check to see how receptive she is to that.
Yeah, so what I will say with those ideas, Adashi and May, if you want to both give me a survival check at advantage, you can roll that for me 3 times, and we should be fairly well off. Two more rolls, Adashi. Please and thank you. Look at that 0. Alright. So, with those brilliant ideas and, well, the amount needed, keeping them ahead, Nick seems to follow a scent quite well. As you make your way to the base of the mountain, you can see a path, quite small. It's going to be fairly difficult to lead the sled up. Well, I should say ride the sled up. It will be a little bit more easier leading it, but with each of you going about that manner, it will still be accomplishable. But Nyx seems to follow the scent quite well. It seems to be quite pungent in the area. As you follow the path up, little May gives hoots and hollers as little May finds dead ends from the path. It seems to be a labyrinth as you make your way through. However, with the keen nose of Nyx, each of you maneuver through the area quite well and efficiently. Time does go by. It takes a few hours where you find yourself nearly halfway up the mountain, just past midday. Can each of you give me a perception check at this point? Nice. Good rolls, everybody. So, as you wrap around, you see this plateaued area that sneaks in towards the center of the mountain. It seems to almost create a, like, 3/4 of a circle with the mountain peak that wraps around, still extending hundreds of feet into the sky. But you find yourselves in a small crater, and then quickly notice an opening to a cave. Each of you smell just dirtiness. It's like musky. You can also, pick up bits of rotten flesh in the air as well. I'm going to move you all to this map. And right there is where you can place your tokens.
Is there anything around this part that we're noticing that the cave extends that reminds us of the Knoll encampment? Because I know that place smelled a little similar.
Unfortunately, other than just the smell, there's no signs. But you can see the snow trickling into the mouth of the cave, and after the extent of your dark vision, it just fades into darkness. With that, we'll be right back. I'll give a little bit more description of what lies ahead when we get back from our break.
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll be right back in just about 5 minutes, and I think that's when Adashi's going to reset the computer for the mic, so hopefully, that shouldn't take too long, but we'll be back. Stay tuned. If you haven't already, please do drop a follow. And we're back. So, each of you stare into the openness of this cave, seeing the snow trickling in just a bit as it then just dissipates, becoming more of a solid, frozen dirt surface. You peer off into the distance as it then just, from your angles, fades into darkness. The walls, an icy stone, reminding you a slight bit of the tomb where you found Nuvian.
From the smell of this cave, I think we might have found the right place.
Unfortunately, I agree.
Although I find it odd there's no sort of guards or anything out here.
Yes, that was my thought as well. I'm wondering if whatever was hunting out here that May found is here.
It could be, or they're just not that organized.
I'd like to look around for tracks of any kind.
Damn it, you beat me to it. I was gonna say we should check for traps.
Of course.
Oh,
Or
it's a track.
traps.
Oh, well, traps then.
Derek, go ahead and give me an investigation, and May, give me a survival.
Oh my lord.
Your combat rolls are going to be so good, though.
You find a good amount of footprints around.
Hope so.
Seems that there are quite a bit leading in and out. Varric, taking a look around, you do not see any traps.
My biggest fear was that it was the flying creature. Well, do one of you want to try your another attempt at a knoll greeting?
I have a +2 performance. I was thinking Adachi could maybe could I give Cryptily the help action since I'm proficient in performance?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I'll since while we were traveling, I was kind of discussing with him how he was saying it.
Yeah.
I feel pretty confident that I got this.
Just remember what we talked about, Cryptily. I think, roll that second R and then up an octave after a woo. Oh, yes.
Yep.
Awesome. Amazing. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and give me the performance check.
With advantage because I gave you the help action, I think.
Indeed.
Yes, I'm better. No.
Oh, it's still 16. That's okay.
Yeah. Hey, it could be
So,
worse.
as you give out a bit of a howl, extending the R and then going up the octave right afterwards, you hear it just echoing through the entrance. It becomes quite distorted quickly. You hear barks echoing back.
Then I'll yell, "Friends are here!"
And Adachi, I actually prepared last night comprehend languages. And I cast that.
If you'd like.
Or we're hearing them bark kind of repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Dashi casts Comprehend Languages. I don't know why it posted twice. And do I understand what the barks mean?
Go ahead and give me a perception check. With the echoes of the cave, you can hear words, but you only pick up a few things. You hear the word someone and there.
I think they said someone there. It's hard with the echo. Maybe I should go in the cave and see if I can hear better.
I'll accompany you.
Yes. Why don't we go in a little further?
So Dashi's gonna go to the mouth of the cave to see if he can hear better.
Let's also check and make sure we don't fall into anything.
Should we leave the dogs?
I think we should bring them in, maybe.
I was
And
wondering if
tie
there
them up.
could be some conflict between the dogs and the gnolls. Didn't know if I would have needed a history check for that or not, or something. I'm a bit iffy.
I'll let you just use your best judgment on that. I mean, as far as there goes to be like historical documents on gnolls fighting dogs, you know.
Or dogs in warfare or something. I don't know.
Maybe we bring them in just to the mouth of the cave so that they're not out here exposed.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't want them to get taken or see something that they want to go chase after.
And Ike, if you guys wanted to wait 10 minutes, I mean, we're trying to talk to Noel, so I don't know if we have 10 minutes, but Adachi could put an alarm around them. And, like, so we would know if anything tries to come up to him.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that sounds like a good play.
Okay. Well, stepping inside and being able to see down the curved ice stone walls a bit easier, you see these blue and green lights, the green coming from your west and the blue coming from your northeast. You can see that the source of these lights seem to be crystals. A quick look seems to be topaz and emerald.
Oh, hell yeah.
Jackpot.
I see shiny, brother.
Let's wait to loot until, or let's not loot. We're on a diplomatic mission, okay? Remember? It would be very bad to steal from someone. We're trying to...
I don't look at it as stealing. I look at it as funding their food source. It just made me excited that we might have some leverage with them.
Sure.
Wink, wink.
Go ahead and give me an insight check there, May. You do not believe a word he is saying, or she is saying.
Sister, all I say is just wait until we've at least failed to accomplish our mission before you try anything. Also, let's not steal from these gnolls. They have nothing, basically, already.
But they have emerald and topaz. They could buy a lot with that.
But
we can talk about this later. It's fine.
There's a chance that perhaps they don't have value in stones like we do. My guess is meat's probably more valuable than a rock to them.
Sure, but it's also... They're light. Oh.
I agree with May. The priority is to come to some kind of truce with these gnolls, and then unite against the Northern Gnolls. So let's try to limit our our slights against them for now. And never mind.
Adachi, you hear, "Smell them here!" as you look towards the west and see 3 gnolls come around the corner.
Friend!
They freeze, and then immediately begin to run back.
Adachi yells, "Big dog! Bang!" Oh.
Toof toof.
Thank you.
Yes,
Nice.
I'm just going to add to the excitement because I'm excited as well.
You all hear them barking wildly as they run back. The echoes of the barks just continuing to ring out quite wildly. It seems that a bit of commotion has been caused. However, Adachi, you can hear them as they run. "They want Big Dog!"
Adachi says, "They're saying they're yelling that we want Big Dog. I'm realizing now we really wanted to talk to the blind one, and Big Dog might not like us very much, but I guess it's a start, right?"
We'll see how this goes. At the worst, if we kill Big Dog, maybe we'll be the big dogs.
Adachi says, "Don't say that too loud."
Maybe
But
we
he
can take the
nods.
meat and have it ready to offer Big Dog.
Great idea. And Adachi will help get the meat off of whichever sled and maybe like bring it in the middle of the cave or something.
Vieric, as you're making your way down, just more and more of the blue light, these treasures are unveiled.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to sneak off and just get me some of them crystals.
You got a pickaxe on hand?
Hey man, why you wanna ruin my fun?
I want to ruin your logic.
To be fair, I'm going to ask the same question.
Oh, some of them can't be just hanging off and I grab them?
Well, these are fairly large. These are like some of the biggest gems you've ever seen in your entire life. They're so large that the little bits of light trickling in are reflecting so well that they seem to be emitting light themselves, while
Don't do
though
it,
very
Blue.
dim.
Don't do it. They too pretty to break them.
All I got is a crowbar, but I'm willing
That's
to
a good
try
thing.
it.
Go ahead, give me a strength athletics check.
May like yells, "Brother, no!"
Too late.
Adachi, as the rest of your siblings hear little bits of barks, you hear, "No touch!" And Vieric can then, well, hold on. I need you to finish your check.
You said athletics, right?
Yep, there we go. It's quite difficult. You pry the crowbar in, but you're not successful in removing anything. And then you hear Kitty, "Meow!" And you look over, see an arrow in her side. She'll take 2 points of piercing damage.
Snap.
Damn it.
Adachi yells out, says, they said not to touch, Vieric. Come back.
And stepping out of the darkness, you see this gnoll and wielding a short bow, beginning to knock another arrow.
They injured Kitty, so they all gotta die.
Can Adachi yell? Well, we don't see that, do we?
No, you all do not see that from it being around the corner. You've heard Kitty give out that little bit of a yipe.
When appropriate, can Adachi like run toward Vieric?
Yeah, they're just, I mean, at the moment, Vieric just looking to give you the stare down, seeing what you do next.
Adachi runs forward and is gonna try to say friend again and Noel.
Friend, no touch.
Oh wait, friend dumb. What's the Vieric? Friend very dumb.
Another
Dumb.
appears.
I'm sorry, friend dumb.
What
I'm
want?
stupid. Talk to Big Dog. And blind Noel? We know Fang and Tooth. Fang and Tooth?
They both kind of look at each other. They tell you we here?
Can I roll it? Insight? Actually, I'm just gonna say, no, but they friends.
Fang Tutu dumb.
No.
We brought food.
But
I can't understand it. You're saying never mind.
You smell that?
Yeah, Adachi joins in and says, yes, we have food. Talk to Big Dog. Talk to Blind Noel.
Blind Noel
Noel
that
who
way.
who taught you. Which way do they point?
Behind you. Big Dog this way. You touch, you die.
Okay, so Adachi's gonna look at Vieric and say, just go away slowly. I think we're okay.
Okay, they shot Kitty. Fuck them.
Touch nothing,
No!
do nothing.
No, Vieric, they're not gonna shoot again. You touch their gem, man. Bro. Oh.
Eric, please trust Adachi this one time. If they do anything else, I'll help you slaughter them all.
Okay, I can go for that. I can wait. But it's gonna happen.
Most likely.
Let's I think the blind Noel is our best bet here. Maybe we Adachi, just seeing that other Noel over there, is gonna say, we're gonna go see blind Noel, and we'll be back.
You see him just sniffing. Blind Noel that way.
Coming again to the green side.
Correct.
Okay, we're gonna slowly go that way. Okay, we'll be back. Go this way. And Adachi looks at Cryptilli and goes, "Oh, never mind, Cryptilli's."
And then I'm gonna throw a ration like right here.
You're gonna starve.
Thanks, friend. And then I'll start coming back to the group.
Blind one that way. You just hear barking, Cryptilli.
Adachi, tell them these dogs are friends too, as I sort of like stake the two groups of dogs like in the mouth of the cave, like here.
If they
he'll
ate
yell down the
dogs,
hallway.
that would make them cannibals. Yuck.
Little Noel's friends. Little Noel's are friends.
Oh, they might eat all the
it-
dog food for sure.
Possible.
So if you guys, if we're cool, if we can wait 10 minutes, or sorry, 20 minutes here and kind of regroup, Dashi can put an alarm spell around the dogs. And I'm thinking maybe if any gnolls or larger creatures come in, it just makes a really high frequency noise. It hurts their ears, so maybe they'll run away.
Are you sure you want to
It'll hurt
spook
the
them,
dog's
though?
ears. Well, I guess I can just make it. I'll do this. Adachi will just say, "Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll just have that a mental note sent to me, and then if we want, I could carry the meat with us. I can kind of create a floating disc to carry it, so we don't need to take the dogs further in. But I'll need another 10 minutes to do that."
How much can you carry?
Let's see here. I think it's 500 pounds.
Oh shit, that's good.
Can I ride?
Right, all of us with the meat.
All right, so what's the plan?
So if you guys, I think we're gonna take 20 minutes because we're not hearing a lot of barks anymore. It still sounds kind of hectic.
No, they've quieted.
We're gonna spend 20 minutes. Adashi's going to ritual cast alarm around the dogs, and then if any creatures come near the dogs, anything bigger than the dogs comes near them, I'm gonna get a mental note that something's coming at them, and then I'll spend another 10 minutes to cast Tensor's floating disc, and then we'll put the meat on the disc and take it with us. Go see Blind Knoll.
All right, as you guys move in, I'll reveal more and more. Just move slowly, of course, so I can reveal in time for you. But as you all wrap around the corner, you see more little bits of green light trickling from those emeralds. Soon the path falls, or turns to falling to the south. You hear bits of falling snow, icicles from above crashing into the ground. The continued bits of green light soon fade as you wrap around the corner. However, with your dark vision, you are able to see quite a bit ways down the path.
Is May intentionally staying back?
I have no idea. I'm assuming so. As you look down, you can see these slight yellowish gems. You're unsure of exactly what they are. You've never seen anything like it before. But they're giving off bits of light just as the others were.
Dashi really wants to cast Detect Magic. It would take 10 minutes and he would lose his disc and have to redo that. So he's not going to yet.
So staring down the path, if you just hold up for one moment, please, you can see two gnolls standing guard. They give you a bit of a look as you make your way into the light. They bark out.
Adachi, you're up. Get up here.
Adachi will say, Friend, Fang, Two-Tooth, we come to talk to Blind Knoll. Blind Knoll, we talk. Have food? And he kind of beckons to the pile of meat behind him. Food for friends. And he kind of nods at the gnolls.
We friend for food, they respond. And then they both take a step to the side, letting you enter. As you get closer, you'll notice that the lights from the gems begin to fade, being overtaken from a flickering light coming from within the room. This room, quite vast in size, nearly 40 foot by 40 foot, as it just arcs into the mountain top above. You see quite a bit.
Oh no. Oh no.
Before you are two fairly large smoldering campfires with fairly large chunks of meat. You see large chunks of meat scattered amongst some haystacks. In the room stand over a dozen gnolls, kind of going about their own business. As each of you give a look over, can you give me a perception check? The smell reminding you each of when back at the Knoll camp, as Creptilli had pointed out. However, this being quite a bit more pungent, you smell what seems to be a fairly nice cooking meal. The seared meat smells quite nice. Besides the path that you see leading off to the east that curves back up to the north, you all scan about, most of these gnolls looking quite similar. However, one gnoll moves forward towards the center gnoll. You can see this slightly larger one looking a bit intimidating. The one that walks up to him places a paw upon the shoulder, then looks to each of you, smiling. Calling out in common, "Hi!"
Hi. Are you? We're here for the blind Knoll. I'm not sure if that's your actual name.
She that way. You have food?
Do we recognize any of these gnolls?
They all look nearly identical.
Fang? Tutus?
Yeah, me Fang. Tutu's,
Which one said that?
Tutu's not here.
Tutus, still alive?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Fang. Oh, Tutus die?
Tutu's fine, big flying thing.
Oh, you've seen it too.
All time.
Does it live here?
No.
Okay. How? So there are like 1, 2, 3, 4,
Food?
5, 6, 7, like a dozen gnolls in here. And Dashi start taking. I don't know exactly how many how much meat we have. Just start handing each of them like a piece of meat.
They all take it quite happily. Begin gnawing on it. Some throwing it on the fire. Others eating it raw.
Like very slowly, Adachi kind of enters the room and starts like handing each of them a piece of meat, I guess.
And now I'll say
the
hi,
floating
friend,
follows.
and try to do it in no.
They just give you bits of odd looks. It seems that you're communicating, but are communicating well. However, it's quite hard to tell from their reactions. Moving down to the southern part of the room, you can see that there's 3 large bloodied sacks. The blood extruding out to the ground, and the brown sacks being quite stained red.
Adachi will point to the sacks because he's down there and say, food?
Food.
Then he'll just keep going until I think this is probably, he's got to feed these gnolls over here. And then he'll say, Fang, blind knoll this way, and point toward this cave over here.
No, that way.
Okay, can we talk to blind knoll?
You can try.
Blind knoll mean?
Sometime.
Okay. Blind knoll hungry though? He kind of gestures to whatever food's left.
Blind no never hungry.
Okay.
May looks at Justala and she goes, she might be thirsty though.
Thirsty for what?
For wine. Like we
Oh, I thought that was like a...
Before you wrap around the corner there, Adachi, you begin to see a bright red hue emanating from around the bend.
Cool. For a second, I really thought May was suggesting just Alan should seduce Lionel, like that kind of thirsty. And
I was thinking that type of thirsty, but not to go about it that way.
she might be thirsty.
I just meant like, you know, we can bring her wine.
But I love the idea that everyone in the family.
I'll gesture to my large jug, like this kind of wine.
Yeah.
Cryptilla keeps a good bit too.
Did I make? Oh shoot! I just realized I left Little May. Could I make some kind of check on red? Like the only thing I remember glowing red was when we did our training, and those like red crystals help that like those weird owl bear creatures kind of come back to life. There's some kind of like knowledge check I could do to see if this is like a similar glow or something like that.
Please.
Or maybe just
give me an Arcana check at advantage. There seems to be quite a bit of similarities between the two. There's also quite a bit of, well, not quite, but a bit of notable differences as well.
Adachi will just look to Tilly and say, something about this is really similar to our training exercise with those owlbears that back to life. I don't know if they had those red crystals. Let's all be cautious. There's a chance if our final friend's ever hungry that maybe she's doesn't need food. And I guess he will continue. 22 HP wizard on the hall.
Yeah.
Before you, as you move forward, the large red crystal becomes clear. You can see exactly where the light is coming from. Around it, you see little roughed up piles of dirt. They appear to be shallow graves.
Oh. I guess Adachi's gonna approach this one.
As you make your way in, you hear a call out from the east side of the room. What are you doing here?
Oh, my apologies. And Adachi will kind of turn that way, and he's going, "Oh wow, that's cool art." Didn't say that. He's gonna do his typical bow and say, "I am Adachi Grimhearth of the Kingdom of Blight on a diplomatic mission When we realized we could speak, we met Fang and Tooth, rest his soul. When we realized that you all could speak, I made it my mission to, my siblings here, we made it our mission to try to connect with you all. We have a common enemy. The Knolls to the north are devastating our lands just like they are yours. And I was hoping that we could come to some kind of agreement. And he looks back and goes, I have food? Do you want some?
Well, first, I just want to point out, stepping a bit closer, you see this white-furred knoll with this slightly hueish red color upon it. Step closer and closer, moving with a bit of a hobble. You can see that the right leg appears to be wounded. When the face comes into sight, you can see these fangs, an overbite over the bottom part of the jaw, the eyes closed, but the face blood red in color. Sniffing. Food. Yous has. Friend?
Friend. And Adachi will be very careful, making sure everything's sheathed, like nothing's. Actually, he's gonna go one step further. He's gonna drop his
Friend
sheath,
touch.
similar.
She rubs her hand on the crystal.
Touch the stone.
Then, after rubbing her hand on it, backs away.
Do an insight check.
I'll touch. Yes, if you wish. I mean, from the eyes, being one of the easiest ways to tell if someone's lying, but this is quite difficult. You're unsure.
Adashi's gonna look back to Crix and the rest of the family, and is going to let me try this.
Touch.
Adachi touches the red crystal.
Oh! Gesturing towards the rest.
Is Adachi already touching it?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I think it's fine, guys.
What is this supposed to do?
Trust.
As she passes, May tries to get a closer look at her wounded leg and just see what's up.
As I walk, I'm going to take the long way around before I find my space to touch the crystal, and I want to try to figure out if I've seen this type of crystal and I know what it does before I touch it. Would that be like a history check? Or an arcana?
Go ahead and give me an arcana check at advantage. It's ringing a bell, but it's still kind of fuzzy. It, from what Adachi said, reminds you from back at training, but other than that, you're not recalling much.
Fuck it, I'll touch it. I want to see what it does.
Yeah.
Alright, everyone touched?
Yeah, I'll touch it reluctantly. I'm trusting Adachi here.
Doing the same.
Yeah,
The
why
easiest
not?
TPK ever.
Alright, can everyone roll me a con save, please, as you all begin to feel this pulse. Your heart beats heavily. Then you feel as if life is being sucked from the palm of your hand. Okay, so that is a pass, fail, and a fail. So,
They touched it for too long.
I gotta get some dice out. Get this ready to go.
Oh no.
Okay, so, Adashi, May, you will both take 7 points, 15 points of damage, and the rest of you will take 7. As you feel the life
Criminal.
drain, you hear a cackle come from the blood-faced red knoll. You see the wound begin to heal. Can each of you also roll me a perception check?
I'm watching this bench intently now.
She goes from a slight, favored leg to now standing normally. Each of you begin to hear the dirt, the gravel from the shallow graves begin to rustle as what look to be knolls rise.
Nice.
And
One even crawling out from underneath Kitty.
Alright, maybe we should put an arrow in this chick's head.
Can each of you roll me an intelligence check? So this is when it hits each of you. When speaking with Fang, things have been quite lost in translation. Just so you know, I'm going from, when I call for, a whole thing, it's usually, an average. So, with most of you passing, everyone would kind of realize this information. But with the amount of information that you had exchanged with Fang, should you realize, well, this one may be blind, but perhaps there were other words missing. You look at her, smiling, smirking, sniffing, and then looking in each of your directions. Friends!
Nice. You got friends too. Seems like you have enough already. It's okay if we just go on about our business.
What you want here? I tell
Dashi's like,
what you want.
As Adashi said, I think we just want to help you guys feed the gnolls and maybe beat up on some bigger gnolls that are not our friends.
That sounds
go to the
good.
north.
Is taking your food.
Yeah, that not no good. They not nice.
We have common enemy. We want your help to kill them.
We will fight together.
Good for both
And
of us.
as these undead creatures begin to stand, you hear their bones rattling as each of them walk very slowly and moving towards the crystal. Well, big dog other way. You need speak with him.
Okay, then we'll go speak with Big Dog.
Leave food here.
Dashi would just all of the food.
Look how skinny my friends are. They need
We
lots
need
of
some.
food.
We need to bring some to Big Dog.
Yes. We'll take the food to Big Dog and have him bring some back to you.
Dashi, you hear the alarm go off inside your head.
Something's getting the dogs.
Okay, let's leave half of the meat we have here and we'll take the other half with us. That should be okay to get us out of here for now.
Yeah. Dashi will give. Yeah, like be a third of it. He'll leave, and then what's left, and then.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we'll book it out.
All right, make your way back up towards the front. As you pass all the gnolls who are happily snacking on some meat and giving bits of cackles and waves as you all run back.
Oh, before I leave, can I have a piece of that stone? Would you mind?
I wish we took something with us. I'm glad you are.
Stones stay here.
Ah, okay. I'd like to talk to you later about that. It's cool. And I'll walk away.
I want her name too, just out of curiosity.
Oh, and what's your name?
Bloodface.
Bloodface.
Bloodface. Creep Tilly.
Just stalling.
Yes, you are.
And as we are walking, I'll ask them if they want to take a little bit of time, and I can nurse everyone's wounds just in case we get into a little combat later, because that kind of wiped me.
Yes, I'm feeling half of my usual energy.
Yeah, sorry, on the way back, can Adachi do a bonus action, second wind?
Sure. And as you all wrap back around the corner having this conversation, you see 3 gnolls just kind of huddled up and like cuddling with the dogs. You see that both the crates of the dog food are open. Some of the dogs laying on their back, you can see the bellies quite bloated.
Oh, they fed our dogs.
A couple of the gnolls look up. You can almost see like this bit of drunkenness, like this haze come across their eyes. They give you what looks to be a bit of a smile.
I see you found the food.
Adashi's going to talk to his siblings again. I guess Blind Knoll was the wrong choice. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no worries. None of us could have saw that coming. She was blind.
I was expecting the archetypal nice blind old woman, and instead it was crazy undead
Zombie witch,
witch woman.
dog.
Well, she's their shaman. They're mystic.
Kind of fascinating that magic crystals are here, though. It's probably good to know, right?
Definitely important to know. I think we should absolutely load up these crates of dog food with our meat. Obviously, we're not going to offer it to anybody, but we can just take stock of how much damage was done to our food supply.
Well, Cryptilli wanted to nurse her wounds a bit anyway, so taking a few minutes here is no big deal.
Yeah. So I'm gonna cast Prayer of Healing on everyone.
Nice.
Shitty roll,
But
like
it's
really
good
shitty
because it's
roll.
a ritual, so it doesn't cost you a spell slot.
Oh, sweet, thank God.
Yeah, the only thing is, as long as you have it prepared, then you're good. But it's not a great thing to do in combat because it takes 10 minutes.
Yeah, it takes 10 minutes.
Oh.
I guess if you guys aren't feeling great, then we can take another 10 before we see Big Dog. I'm sure he won't mind waiting.
Each of the gnolls, when this is cast, just look over in like astonishment.
Yes, please, sister.
Well,
I could use some more healing.
I'm trying to do the math right now. So we got into the wreck, which was 5 hit points, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But then we got a short rest after that from resting that evening.
Yep.
Okay, I don't think we rolled on the short rest though, did we?
Yeah, I definitely forgot to roll his die.
Yeah,
That's why.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, damn, we
Yeah.
didn't roll for the healing, so we don't know where we are right now from that original 5 that we lost.
I'll try to give reminders as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, that's
just
our
on
fault.
us, though. Yeah, that's on us.
That's on us. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
why I'm like, if y'all want to wait 10 more minutes, I'll cast it again.
Definitely, because I'm probably like negative 12 right
Definitely.
now. Well, without the 7 that you just gave.
So 5, you mean? Yeah, that's a good one. That should bring everyone back to full, even the pets. Little May's feathers are no longer ruffled either.
Nice.
She's like super chill.
There you go, kitty.
She
All
looks
better.
she looks like she's in a trance. Lands on May's shoulder, looks at May, looks a bit spooked, and then flies over to Adachi, looking back like nothing happened.
While Cryptilli was healing us, could I ask the gnolls? Bloodface, kind of scary, huh? You guys like Bloodface?
They look at you confused. You realize that your spell is worn off.
Oh, really? Oh, well, okay, so I could never speak. I was just speaking in common because I thought they kind of understood broken common.
They just
So
look at
I
you
can
confused.
just understand. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna wait to recast comprehend languages since I got that many spell slots.
Sure. Then, after all the healing, you recast comprehend languages as a ritual, just because you have enough time.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, might as well.
Feel that you are all ready to move on.
Oh yeah, I'd like to during that time just see how much dog food is left, and whatever is left, I put it on the disc to bring with us.
Seems to be less than a day's rations.
No.
This will feed maybe one of the dog sled teams.
They should be pretty full because they just need a lot of it.
Oh, as you're looking over, as I said, you can see them like rolling on their backs, bellies quite bloated, and even the gnolls look to be in a bit of a drunken haze with the amount of food ate.
All right, I guess we should continue. And then Dashi will start moving in that direction.
Making your way down, still seeing the blue topaz, giving light, illuminating the path. While very dim, it does seem to give a little bit of a help. Just Stalin, seem like you feel that while near them, you can at least see your opponents, versus just when in complete darkness. Ahead, you see a path forking. One going to the south west, and the other continuing a bit more south.
Dashi's going to send little, you got this, little May. Is going to send little May down, I guess, the south path, but just like 30 feet. And Adashi's looking through little May's eyes.
So, as Adachi makes it down, or as Little May makes it down through it, looking through the eyes, you just find a vast, empty room when you make it towards the end.
Not seeing anything, Adachi will send little May a little bit further. Another 20 feet.
Giving you your information, bud.
Oh, okay. I'll come back, and Dashi will say, the path looks empty to the south. Should we try the other path?
Sounds good to me.
Why is Crix upside down?
My man's walking on the ceiling.
I couldn't figure out why it looked so weird. I was like, who is that?
He is his own shadow.
Continue down.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So as each of you make your way down, you can begin to see this bits of purple light emanating down the path. You begin to smell cooked meat as you go closer and closer, then spotting quite a bit more gnolls.
What?
On top of which, you do also spot two fairly large wolves, each gnawing on a plank of meat.
Dashi just kind of, here for Dashi Grimhearth, Blight, here for Big Dog, have meat, friend. Friend? Friend?
A gnoll steps forward. You see a longsword made fairly well in hand, and this slightly poor made chainmail armor draped over its chest. These plates of mail dangle down the legs, and a spiked plate helmet appears to be made of silver steps forward. You want Big Dog? Fine. Hear me be.
Big Dog like meat? He kind of gestures to the what we have left. Adachi friend.
No want for your friend. You go. Leave food.
Adachi not friends with Knowles and North. Adachi and friends, and he gestures his family, can help other Knowles. Bad Knowles. Not good Knowles like Big Dog.
As Big Dog begins to approach, you see both the wolves drop their meat and follow behind. How Big Dog know you, friend?
Adachi have meat, and Adachi will kind of man up, and he'll walk forward, and he'll kind of grab like 2 haunches of meat off the disc and kind of toss them to Big Dog.
And we knew Fang, or Tooth and Fang.
Yes,
Tooth dead.
Fang,
Fang
Tooth
dumb.
are friends.
Are you friends with Bloodface?
He nods. Yes.
We too are friends with Bloodface.
You touch stone?
We touch stone.
Hurt. Bad.
But we live.
We friends.
Then which one want fight? There are a lot of you.
No, we don't. We don't want to fight.
Oh, friend. Friends, no fight.
You come, you
Bad
want
Knowles.
fight.
Bad Knowles who... No. Bad Knowles steal Big Dog's food. Big Dog... I'll steal Big Dog's home? Hey, Bad Knowles in North. That way.
I Big Dog. I say stay here.
Okay? Here.
Now which one want fight? You?
Why fight?
Fight till sleep.
Not fight till death.
Which one?
Why fight?
He looks around. You hear him give out a little bit of a bark. And Adachi, you hear, they want to know why fight. And the rest of the gnolls start cackling. Each of you being able to note that this is quite a bit of laughter coming from each and every one of them.
What's the rules of the fight?
You choose who fight me.
No death?
Till sleep long time.
But not forever.
Just one-on-one?
Aye.
Wait, what happens if Big Dog goes sleep?
Well, then you knew Big Dog.
This sounds bad.
Vieric, with your permission, I'll do it.
No. Crix. Do you want to be their Big Dog?
If I'm Big Dog, then they will do what I want, and then we get what we want.
This true. If he knew Big Dog, all Knoll here listen.
I think one-on-one I might have the best odds.
Oh, you'll be fine. Do you want to die, Big Dog?
Oh, shit.
Crix, no.
If you try to cheat, you die.
So I'm allowed to use all of my abilities to fight you?
Hope the shadow doesn't count.
He'll nod.
That's cheating.
I'm gonna summon it before the fight and say, "This me too." Okay.
He'll look. You can see that there's a decent amount of like astonishment that comes across his face that's notable. How do that?
Maybe I'll tell you if I win.
Good luck.
Before you guys fight, Adashi's gonna kind of like approach you, Crix, and say, "Crix, you don't have to do this. This was my idea. I can fight. I don't want you to hurt from this."
No offense, Adachi, but I'm a much better fighter when it comes to hand than you. And if things start to go south, at least I'll be able to inflict as much damage as possible.
Okay, I've got your back.
So, as Big Dog makes his way past each of you, he gives a little bit of a whistle, and only one of the wolves follow. It brushes up each up against and every one of you, and you can smell the blood that's stained amongst the fur.
Yeah. As Crix goes to walk past me, I'll touch him on the shoulder and just tell him not to show any weakness. And as I do so, I will false life him.
Well done. Just in case.
Just to be clear, siblings, as long as they don't cheat and interfere, please don't cheat and interfere.
Did you hear that, Vieric?
Right.
You could cost our brother his life.
But we will be close
Dashi's gonna
by.
leave enough. Dashi's gonna leave enough food for these other gnolls before he leaves.
How much does false life boost my hit points by?
1d4 plus 4.
Alright, well, if each of you want to make your way over, he basically leads you all to a room where there are 3 large, giant purple crystals that seem to just erect randomly from the cave's floor. As you move up, Crix, the wolf will sit and let you pass. But as you do, will stand back up and move a little bit forward in order for each of your siblings to see.
Can I see if I can recognize this purple crystal? I know it was the same one that was in that other room, or a similar one.
You can go ahead and give me a intelligence check. Unfortunately, you do not. Alright, so with there being just 10 minutes, we will play this out as much as possible. Might even see who wins.
low initiative as always.
If I start the prayer of healing now, by the time it's over,
100
this should be
rounds
good.
in.
I tried.
Okay. Let me just get the battle music. But he rolled a 4.
What?
Alright, first thing I'm gonna do is move my shadow to the south behind him. Then I'm gonna attack with my glaive. Forgot I had advantage already. So does an 18 hit?
Hold on 1 second, bud.
Okay.
An 18 does hit. He attempts to pull up his longsword, blocking the attack. However, the glaive, the shaft of it just slides down the longsword's blade and strikes him. Go ahead and roll damage. That was 2 1s. Looked like.
God.
Alright, then I'm gonna use Shadow's Wrath to have my shadow make an independent attack.
Okay. Nice. A natural 20.
I don't think it did crit damage on that.
No, it only rolled 1d10, so go ahead and add 1 more for me, please. Out of curiosity, did you hit the glaive damage that was under the 20?
Oh no, I rolled that at twice because I didn't roll with advantage, so it probably didn't pick it up and then didn't give me damage.
If
because
you,
I rolled twice.
I'm gonna test this, but I'm pretty sure if you click under the glaive with the 26. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know you could click those like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a nice little thing. Especially like when you do your roll like that, then you can actually get your crit damage. But still, you're 9 on it. A pretty good increase. It brings it up to a 16.
Then I'm gonna burn an action surge, or burn my action surge to attack again with my glaive.
Oh man.
Okay. You can see him attempting to block the attacks, but being quite unsuccessful. Your fury that you are striking him with seeming to do well. This complete offensive decision seems to be doing a lot of damage as you strike for a 3rd time. And that was the most damage you've done even with the crit. 13 more damage.
And with that, I'm going to end my turn.
I know it's not. The other one was like 16. So close to the most. So, this guy will take a step to the side and swing at you. And as he does, you'll notice that there's quite a smile. There's quite a smile upon this Knoll's face as he takes this swing at you. And you hear, with a bit of heavy breath, "Nice!"
Surprised you're still standing.
So, the first attack towards you is a 21.
That hits.
The second one is a 8.
That misses,
Much worse.
and I'm going to use my battle expertise to repose that and make an attack against him with an extra d6 damage.
On the miss?
Yeah, on the missed
Got it.
one.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Does an 11 hit?
No, unfortunately not. You will take from the first strike 19 points of damage. And then he will, after sinking the blade into you, pull the blade closer to him, closing the gap a little bit more, bringing you within just a foot of distance, and then attempting to bite you. And the bite is for a 20.
That meets my AC, so is that a hit or a miss?
Meat is beat.
Then I take the damage.
You'll take 7 points of damage, and can you please roll me a Constitution saving throw as you feel your veins begin to burn. Unfortunately, you fail. You will take 9 points of poison damage as you just feel this burning sensation begin to erupt through your entire body. With the playing field quite even, it becomes your turn yet again.
Gonna move myself and my shadow back in position to flank. And then I'm gonna use my bonus action to use what's it called?
Second wind.
Second wind.
Got it. So as each of you are looking on, you see these strikes, this fight nearly going blow for blow. It almost seems that they're quite evenly matched. However, your brother's attacks seem to be a bit more devastating. Crix's wounds begin to heal over as you hear him let out a bit of a yell. You see this just pulse of wind erupt from his body, and as the blood soaks back into his skin, he looks a bit refreshed.
Then I am going to attack with my glaive. '18's a hit, right?
Yes. Nice.
Then I'm gonna burn another charge of Shadow's Wrath to attack with my shadow.
Another solid hit. 7 more points of damage.
And then I'm gonna end my turn.
You see him looking a bit roughed, and he'll then say, "You nothing without friend." Turn and swing towards the shadow.
He no friend, he me.
That a 15 to hit the shadow?
Nope, that doesn't hit.
So swinging, it seems that the blade just goes straight through your shadow. However, it seems to do nothing. He swings back around, following with the momentum. Wow. That was another 15.
That doesn't miss, and I'm gonna use another.
That doesn't miss.
Or that doesn't hit, and I'm gonna use another superiority die to repose again.
Okay. So as he begins to try to lunge forward and says, "Nuff trick!" attempting to bite in, you strike him in the back with the glaive with the opportunity that presents itself quite well. The back open. The glaive sinks in. Deal
And then I also get another
nice
plus
chunk of
6.
damage.
Or D6.
And as the glaive sinks in this opportunity too perfect, it buries into his back. You see him fall. The wolf gives a bit of a whine and begins to move forward.
I won. I big dog now.
Big dog, big dog, big dog.
Continuing to cry, it looks towards you and then looks towards the stones.
I will move away from the fallen. Well, I'll move away from Big Dog to show that I don't intend to finish him. It wasn't a fight to the death. I'll move my shadow away
Gives
as
a
well.
bit of a bark. Can you give me an animal handling? You feel that it's trying to tell you something. Wants you to do something with Big Dog.
I think this wolf wants me to do something, but I have no idea what.
Should he touch the stone like we touched the red one?
It continues to bark, looking at you, then the fallen knoll, and then back to the stones.
I'm gonna approach Big Dog and drag him over to the stones and make his hand touch one.
Sounds like the right move.
And as you do, you can see the wounds healing over. The bit of color of life slightly returning. And the dog sits. Well, the wolf sits, wagging its tail. And that is where we will call tonight's session.
Crix! What a hero!
Goddamn, Crix.
I'm trying to clap and also hold my push to talk at the same time.
This is like, what? Wow. Ooh.
You're so strong, Crix, and talented. And a little bit lucky.
The dice were definitely on your side.
Yeah,
I blew like
That initiative
everything
roll
on
was
that.
that was so many clutch nat 20s, and then that last parry riposte thing he did like 4 points above his HP. So he would have, like, with your current hit before the D6, I think he had like 1 HP left after the 16. So it was like just enough with that D6. It was like a clutch move. Plus the natural 20s in that sense. That was pretty good, man. And then, of course, next week we have the week off. However, when we get back to it, which hopefully is the following week, we will see what this entails for you, Crix. Now, the big dog of the Southern Knolls. But, hope everyone had fun. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. And everyone have a good night. A good week if I don't see anybody through the week. And the next week, D&D will be off. However, we'll be doing other little bits of streams here and there, playing random bits of games. So, hope you all stop by. Again, if you haven't already, drop a follow. Don't forget, your Amazon Prime can link to your Twitch, and you can sub for free to the channel, help support everything. Can get new music, art, all that kind of, all the music or all the money made from the stream goes to that kind of stuff, giving back to the players. But other than that, everyone have a good night.
Yeah, good night. That was crazy.
Night, y'all.
Yeah, good night, everybody.
Take it easy.